All right, for over a decade now, Life is Strange fans have been asking one huge question. What happened to Max and Chloe? Their story was all about these impossible choices, and man, it left us all hanging. Well, today we're finally diving into the game that promises to be the final chapter, Life is Strange Reunion. And look, this is so much more than just another sequel. For the millions of us who first stepped into Arcadia Bay way back in 2015, this is a moment literally 11 years in the making. This is supposed to be the definitive conclusion for two characters who've become absolute icons. The emotional stakes, they could not be higher. And get this, the developer, Deck 9, is making a really bold choice to mark this finale. In a first for the entire series, you're not just playing as Max. Nope, you'll actually be controlling Chloe too, weaving their different perspectives and unique abilities together as you play. Which, of course, brings us to the crucial question. After all this time, all this anticipation, does Reunion actually stick the landing? We're here to figure out if this is the closure that both longtime fans and, yeah, even curious newcomers have been waiting for.
Well, the critics have weighed in, and the game landed at a solid 77 on Metacritic. Now, that score tells a fascinating story. It's a story about a game that's deeply loved for some things and, well, criticized for others. And don't worry, we're going to get into all of it.
So let's start with the story. The game kicks off with a mystery that feels like classic Life is Strange. But as this slide suggests, it's got a much darker, more intense edge right from the very beginning. So, Max Caulfield is all grown up now, working as a photography teacher at Caledon University. She gets back from a trip only to find the entire campus is on fire. And just when things couldn't get any more chaotic, who shows up? Chloe Price. Her very existence is a mess of merged timelines, and she's just as confused and desperate for answers as Max is. And here's where the game really respects its veterans. It actually imports your save history. That massive, gut-wrenching choice you made in the first game, saving Arcadia Bay or saving Chloe, directly changes how the reunion plays out. Even the relationship status, whether it was romantic or platonic, will alter key moments right from the start. But hey, don't worry if you're jumping in fresh. The developers were smart enough to include a full story recap, so you can get caught up on all the major emotional beats without having played the other games. It's really designed to be a great entry point for anyone. But playing as two characters isn't just some story gimmick. No, it fundamentally changes the gameplay, altering how you solve puzzles and how you interact with the entire world. Well, it all comes down to combining Max's iconic time powers with Chloe's equally iconic sharp tongue. And the contrast is just fantastic. You'll switch to Max to use her signature rewind power to undo mistakes or solve a puzzle. Then you'll jump right into Chloe's shoes for her backtalk ability, which is basically engaging in these verbal showdowns to uncover information or persuade tricky characters. It really is a dynamic duo of mechanics. And here's a huge point for a lot of players. Unlike its predecessors, Reunion is a complete single release. The entire story is available from day one. That's right, no more waiting for months to find out what happens in the next episode. So if you're ready to jump in, you're probably asking, where can I play it and which version should I get? Let's quickly break down all the options for you. So Reunion is a true current-gen title. It's available right now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. But just a little heads up for last-gen players. Because of how advanced the visuals are, it is not available on PS4 or Xbox One. The standard edition will run you about $40, and just so you know, it's not currently on subscription services like Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. As for which version to grab, the standard is great for newcomers. Meanwhile, the Twin Pack is a really solid value if you want to catch up on the previous game, Double Exposure, too. But, according to our source, NK Games, if you're a veteran fan, the deluxe edition is genuinely worth it. It comes with a behind-the-scenes documentary that they say provides this emotional context that really enhances the whole experience. So yeah, if you've been on this journey from the start, that's the one for you. Okay, now for the big one, the verdict. With that Metacritic score of 77, it's pretty clear this goodbye is powerful, but maybe it's not quite perfect.
So let's break down where all that praise came from and where the critics felt the game fell a little short.
Almost universally, every single reviewer agreed on one thing. The emotional payoff of seeing Max and Chloe together again is the absolute highlight of this entire game.
The praise overwhelmingly centers on that reunion. Critics call it emotionally honest and earned. And this powerful emotional core is supported by some really impressive visuals, especially the fire effects, and a soundtrack that beautifully honors the whole series.
But the faults were just as consistent. The main criticisms point to uneven storytelling that sometimes gets bogged down in past drama, which makes some player choices feel a little less impactful than in the original. And beyond Max and Chloe, the supporting cast and the overall gameplay were often described as underdeveloped and maybe just a little too familiar.
So all of that brings everything back to you. With all of this information on the table, who is this game actually for? Here's the bottom line. If you're a longtime fan, this is an essential purchase. It's the imperfect but powerful conclusion you've been waiting for. And if you're a newcomer, it's a fantastic entry point to the whole saga, especially if you grab that twin pack to get the full context.
In the end, just like the original game, this entire experience is about the choices you make. You've got 11 years of history, 2 timelines, and 1 final story. How you navigate it, well, that's up to you. What will your ending be?